Hello! Time for episode 7 of Doctor Who Series 12 review. Welcome to Doctor Who Target Files YouTube channel. So we had Can You Hear Me? Actually watched this one in Bristol Airport en route to Dublin with a bit of a delay on broadcast the week before last as I was off to Gallifrey 1. Excuse me, a bit of chocolate on my lip there. Yes, Can You Hear Me? Very interesting look at mental health and the idea of dreams and fears and all sorts of contexts we can see within a Doctor Who episode. Nice initial start off in Aleppo, Syria. The whole idea of creating happiness brought into being. Want to mention director Emma Sullivan on this one. She had some fantastic cinematography and shots. Managed to create real tension. And I noticed from research, she's got a bit of a short film background. And yeah, sort of fantastic effort at getting into Doctor Who, and of course co-written this one by Charlene James and Chris Chibnall. We move on swiftly to the family being dropped off in Sheffield. It's something I've noticed in the Chibnall era. It doesn't seem to have the flow of, we'd have Rose going home within a few episodes in the RTD era, and often have Clara and Amy and Rory popping back in the Stephen Moffat era. But there tends to be longer gaps, and it's not necessarily for the best, as we don't get a great deal of development in other characters, but I feel it's something that was learnt from in this episode in terms of Ryan's best mate having bipolar disorder, and Graham's issues grieving for Grace and showing he still has a good social life with his mates from working on the buses. I'd say in that context, Graham is the one you buy into having these issues straight away, as there's a slower build up for Ryan and Yaz in that context. Just got some more notes here. The Doctor really was bigging up the treatment of mental health early on in the episode, in terms of the way people were treated in the times of Syria, which he visited. But there has been criticism about the way she speaks to Graham, but for me, somebody who's experienced anxiety and depression myself, it worked in the context, because sometimes you speak to people about certain issues, whether it is mental health or as a result of cancer we know Graham the character has had, and you just want honesty from people. And I think the whole issue is that Graham was getting these issues off his chest, his fear of his cancer coming back, and the Doctor was just able to react as probably many a human would, almost freezing up in terms of what they could say, but at least she was totally honest about it, and that got a laugh out of Graham, in that she explained what her reaction would be, rather than sort of giving him some sort of positive, affirming message. It was a very honest reply, I feel, and I don't agree with a lot of criticism it gets. But back to the story-wise, a great turn by Ian Gelder as Zelen, wasn't he? One of the Eternals returning to Doctor Who. Nice callbacks to the Celestial Toymaker and a few other things. So overall, I think this episode pretty well put together. Stuttered in parts, the pacing was a little bit off at times. So I would give it... I've had to do a second watch because, first of all, I watched it in the airport travelling, so I gave myself a better chance of catching up with it on my big screen here when I got home, having recorded it, sorry. So I'm going to give this one a solid 7.5. Could have a little bit better pacing to it, but altogether we got a good bit of development of each of the family's characters, the fam's characters, and a decent enough look at mental health, I think, and in the context of the story of dreams as well, an enjoyable Doctor Who story.